Between the NBA and NHL, which is the more exciting? Just stop right there. I'm going to say, and again, I mean, Pete and I think we've had these conversations before. I don't think anything compares with the excitement level in a season and then in the playoffs over the National Hockey League. Period. End of story. To me, it's the NBA, the last 5 minutes, the last 2 minutes, and everything is hot. But in a hockey game, you got to pay attention every single second. Pete, I'm going to let you roll on this one first here because my vote goes to the National Hockey League being more exciting than the NBA. End of story.
Well, I'm a big hockey guy. I'm a big basketball guy too, but Stanley Cup playoff action is always, to me, top to bottom, game everybody. I mean, factor the whole big picture. The Stanley Cup playoffs are more exciting. There's no question about it. Now, NBA regular season, I would agree with you about the last two, sometimes two. I mean, it's an easy thing to say. You don't have to watch the last 2 minutes. I like to study the game a little bit. Playoff basketball, we all know, is completely different than regular season basketball.
As is playoff hockey.
But yeah. Playoff basketball, I think you got to watch from start to finish because I just like the adjustments that are made or not made, and 3 or 4 things can impact a game completely. But overall, Stanley Cup playoffs by far, top to bottom, dominate the NBA postseason.
Clayton, go ahead.
Oh, I'm completely on the side of the NHL in this. I mean, I follow both closely, but I think at the end, it's tough to find a better live attraction than an NHL game. I just compare going to a Bruins game versus going to a Celtics game. I mean, there's more energy in the building for a preseason Bruins hockey game than there is for a late season Celtics game. It's just a very different crowd at the games. And I think in some ways it's because of the way the NBA is played. I think the NBA season is too long too. I think people talk about load management and all this kind of stuff. If you look back at Bill Bradley's memoir in the 70s, Life on the Run, he was talking about that happening back with the Knicks when they were winning their championships, that these guys just couldn't handle such a long season. He was calling for a 70-game season back then. I think that might be the way to go. I understand money-wise that won't happen, but I think it's very difficult, actually, for both of these sports to deal with such a long, drawn-out regular season.